Hey, what's up, everybody? Boxing fans alike. Yeah, so let's see. This Friday is a pretty big fight, even though it was meant to be, it was changed. Inoue versus Kim. It was originally gonna be Sam Goodman, of course. Yeah. So this is a fight for those for all the major super bantamweight belts, of course, and of course including the ring one as well. So instead of Sam Goodman, the opponent is Jun Kim from South Korea, and I really, like most of you out there, don't really haven't heard of this guy before. Uh, he was a short notice. Stepped up on short notice, and he's known as troublemaker or packy weather. Even yep. Sorry about that. He's 32 years old, so he's 1 year older than Inoue. Also 1 inch taller. He's got two losses already, 21 wins with 13 KOs, two draws. Yeah, so he was basically chosen, I see, because he won the WBO Oriental title in his last fight. Okay, so he doesn't have any really well apart from an old Anki Ankota, who's a kind of a pretty solid fighter, but that was a while ago. So that was the only kind of, let's say, famous name on his record. Um, yeah. Um, yeah. Well, of course, what can one expect here by another dominant knockout by Inoue? I don't really see. I mean, I don't really see any other way that it can go. Of course, Kim probably is a tough guy. He hasn't been stopped yet, but you know, on the other side, both his losses also came against unknown fighters. The last one was 2023 to a guy who had a record of 14-9. So yeah, that's kind of weird. So it's how it goes with these short notice replacements. Seldom goes well. And when you fight such a crusher, destroyer star as Inoue, yeah, I don't think this will last very long. Maybe 3 rounds. I don't know, maybe four. Probably not much longer than that. Yeah, there isn't really much more to say. Hopefully, we will get to fight either Sam Goodman or someone else next, even bigger name. Alright, and then moving on to the other major fight of this weekend. It is on Saturday in Vegas. And we have two up and coming, well, contenders. One of them is a young guy by the name of Diego Pacheco, and the other one is a not so young guy, Steven Nelson. So Nelson is 36 years old, wow, and he's only got 20 fights so far. Yeah, I've heard good things about Nelson, but Pacheco seems to really be. He is looking really, really promising right now, definitely. And yeah, He's 20-0 with 16 knockouts. Nelson, sorry, not Pacheco, but Pacheco is the young lion, and he's very tall. For a super middleweight, he's 6'4", while Nelson is only 5'10". Huge difference there. Pacheco's got 18 KOs of 22 wins, and his last fight he was very impressive. He knocked out the guy who wasn't knocked out before, Suletsky. Yeah, in the sixth round. So that fight, I guess, proved that he is ready for tougher competition. I believe Steven Nelson can give him that definitely. Even though he hasn't yet fought anybody who is really good, Nelson, but that doesn't mean that he is himself isn't very good, of course. I expect a good tough fight here, and both guys can hit definitely, obviously, and so that makes for a very exciting fight. Depending, however, on which way they choose to fight each of them, and yeah, Pacheco usually kind of likes to use his height and reach advantage and likes to open a little cautiously, and then he finds an opening and yeah, of course, goes for a knockout. So he's not a guy who just throws and throws. Yeah. So Pacheco, I favor Pacheco definitely here. I must admit I haven't seen much of Nelson. Even I don't even know if I have seen any of him. But in his last fight, I might have seen the last fight when he knocked out the unbeaten Marcos Vasquez Rodriguez. I think I saw that, and I really liked that performance. That's right, I did. That was really good performance by Nelson. So that's why I think he can really give Pacheco a hard fight, a true challenge, definitely. But how this will end, wow. Nelson is definitely also a guy who is aggressive, looking for a knockout, and comes out throwing a lot of shots. Because he's the shorter guy, he must also be a little more aggressive. He can't just stand back and do this. That will lead him nowhere. He must go to the body, of course. So that's the best way for him to win. To fight in general. Try to break down Pacheco with the body shots and fighting up close. We know that usually these very tall guys, they are not that good at fighting inside. So that could be Nelson's golden game, put it that way. While for Pacheco, the best way to win and fight. The easiest way to, well, not the easiest, but the way he can win is simply by keeping Nelson at a distance and landing those, looking for those big shots, and whether they are to the body, to the head, doesn't matter. This will go, I don't know if it will go the distance, but I trust it will go like 10 rounds or something, probably 10, 11 rounds. So might as well be a late stoppage. So I kind of lean a little more towards Pacheco because he's slightly more tested guy or has been in there against the better opponent. I mean, his best opponent so far is better than Nelson's best opponent. To put it that way, simply. All right. So that makes you believe. Of course, that doesn't have to mean anything necessarily, but yeah, because it's so damn hard to do this. That's why I stopped doing these predictions. I now only say what I think can happen, what I think may happen, but it's very hard to say, oh, this will happen. So, I mean, unless it's a fight like the first one I covered, Inoue fight. So, yeah, that's why I think Pacheco, like, is the taller man, but if he doesn't manage to keep Nelson at a distance, Nelson going to the body, he can break him down, even stop him late. Pacheco's best way, just to load up on those big shots, but also jab, jab, jab a lot, definitely. Since the punch that he knocked out Suletsky with was a body punch, and Suletsky is almost the same height as Nelson. He's like 5'11", something I believe. So yeah, like there you have the same kind of physical build, or well, sorry, Suletsky is a little taller than that, but anyway, it was a body shot. He's still 3 inches shorter than Pacheco, so he was dropped and knocked out by a body shot, and obviously Pacheco is good at those. But against a much shorter guy, we know it's not easy to land that, big body shot. It's usually the head that taller guys focus against shorter guys. So, I mean, much shorter guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Both guys can win, but if it goes a distance, also then Pacheco is more favored to win because I think he's a little more, uh, you know, like seen as the hotter young talent. He's also a young guy versus Nelson, who's 36 at his last leg, so to speak, and so yeah, probably the judges, if it's a really close fight, that is, not if Nelson dominates. Hopefully he will get a decision, but I don't think he can dominate Pacheco really. So yeah, if it's a really close fight, probably Pacheco will get it. Uh, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, thank you for watching and see you soon. Bye.